just wondering, I mean, after such a long absence from January 2020 until a couple of weeks ago, what were the emotions at getting back on the pitch, albeit for a couple of replacement outings? But I mean, a long time coming? It must have been just a lot of emotion at that stage.
Yeah, probably the lack of crowd and the lack of not having your family around for the occasion probably took away from the emotion a little bit and made me a little bit more focused on the job at hand. But no, definitely looking back on the 2 weekends gone, obviously as frustrating they were, the silver lining for me was getting through 2 games, and after, as you said, such a long absence, that's massive because it was a really tough period of my career, and but I'm delighted to get through that, and just thankful for the support the club have given me, my friends, my family. But yeah, probably the lack of crowd took away the emotion a little bit, but it was still a brilliant thing for me to achieve.
As it dragged on, Will, were there ever any doubts about that you were going to get back? I mean, or fears that one more injury could be quite problematic for the rest?
No, definitely. Like whenever it's an injury to your back, it's really serious, and I've had a couple of them now. So there's a point where you start to weigh up whether the brilliant job that I have in playing a professional rugby is worth it for what's beyond rugby. And there was definitely those thoughts that went through my head. But luckily, the support I've had from my surgeon, first of all, from the physio staff here, and then from myself, I've always had real confidence that I'd get things right. So I think once the operation was done, it gave me a clear line to where I could get back. Whereas pre-operation, where we were dealing with like a chronic injury, it was quite hard to see an end in sight. But once I had the surgery, the support I've got from the club, the support I got from the surgeon himself and down the road has been brilliant, and has probably given me real clear focus that I would get back. But definitely, like, it's been probably the most up and down injury I've experienced. So that definitely, the fear of finality of your career definitely crossed my mind a few times.
Thank you very much, Will. Cheers.
Hi, Will. How have you found being back playing now? How have you found actually being on the pitch?
Good, yeah. Obviously, last 2 results have been pretty upsetting for us as a team. So, yeah, there is a silver lining for me for getting through 2 games. But the main emotion I have is frustration that we haven't achieved what we set out to at the start of the year. But no, I feel like I'm integrating into the game a little bit better. There's still mistakes I shouldn't be making in there, which a cop out for me would be saying I'm fresh back from injury. But I'm frustrated at some of the mistakes I've made, but delighted that I've had some good involvements. But no, like it's hard to know how many games we've got left in the season with the uncertainty that we've got. But I know that I've got a number of games to finish off the season. I want to put my best foot forward there and make sure I'm doing a better job than I've done so far.
Yeah, obviously looking forward to this week. You say you don't know how many games you've got for the rest of the season, but can you put down any goals you can achieve in that short time now that you're back?
Not really. I think probably the main goal is this week we're going down to Munster to Foman Park against probably from the first weekend of the Rainbow Cup the standout team. So that's the first goal, is to go down there and make sure we put a good account of ourselves across the board and go out to win the game. So that's goal 1 for me personally. It's just about getting minutes under the belt and making sure I'm adding to a really good team performance.
Dan said after the game on Friday that it would take a long time to recover from what happened. I'm just wondering if you can talk a bit about the sort of psychological damage from Friday night, from the sort of second half collapse, and how that's sort of being addressed this week. Are you kind of facing it head on, or are you kind of sort of parking it? What's the approach?
I'm definitely facing it head on, mate. Yeah, got to address it, don't you? If you hide away from it, it's going to eat you up inside. So we had a pretty good conversation amongst the groups yesterday. Dealt with what we needed to and got out on the pitch yesterday afternoon and tried to get a bit of excitement in the boys. Threw a ball around, played a bit of rugby, which is what we love. And hopefully with a bit more of that today, we sort of get flushed what happened. Learn from it, don't get me wrong, but we flush it and attack this week, because going down to Munster, if you feel sorry for yourself heading down, you're going to be in a world of hurt. So we've definitely put a bit of time into trying to get everyone back on the horse and get going again.
Thanks very much.
Hi, Jared. Can I ask you a very quick injury question first? I saw Sam Carter was part of the was over at Welford Road during the warm-up. Does that mean he's very close to a return, or even potentially in the mix for this week?
Yeah, he's working his way back. I think he was over there to keep on the straight arrow, get a bit of extra fitness into the legs, and keep an eye on him. So, look, he's working away at training, and hopefully he'll be back on the pitch soon. But I think he's getting pretty close.
And then looking forward to the Rainbow Cup, Dan said that he was looking forward to seeing a few of the guys who haven't seen as much game time as others get a bit of game time. Is that going to be the approach going forward, or has that changed after the conversations you guys have had over the past couple of days?
No, look, people will still get opportunities. It's part of rugby, isn't it? You got to find times to give people opportunities, and there certainly will be some guys that will get them. Some guys will go again, and we'll see where we end up. But it's going to be a competition that, look, we want to win. We want to win rugby. You want to win rugby games, you play it to win. So regardless of who fronts in the weekend, we're going out to put a good performance and try to get a win down there.
Just in terms of the manner of the defeat, I mean, it must have been absolutely gut-wrenching, that dressing room at the end of that game. And what was said, I mean, how did you immediately deal with the sort of aftermath?
Look, a few home truths were said after. Exactly what was said gets to stay in between those four walls, which is the beauty of sport in our position. So a few home truths were said, but you know, it was a sore place. Everyone was pretty gutted. A lot of effort went into it. So we hurt, but exactly what was said stays between the four walls, and it's a privileged position of us, unfortunately.
I mean, looking back, what went wrong in the second half, do you think?
Look, we probably stopped playing a little bit. Tigers put us under a lot of pressure. You've got to give them credit too. We couldn't deal with some of the stuff they threw at us. We potentially stopped playing a bit. They forced a few errors. We couldn't hold them out. They got a foothold in the game, and we struggled to come back, really. So it was a mix of a few things, but at the end of the day, Tigers forced us into it, didn't they? And fair play to them.
Thanks, Jared.
Jared, I suppose in terms of a game to follow that up with, you know you'll need a response against Munster in an interpro, otherwise you'll be on the end of a large scoreline. How good is it to have a game like this straight afterwards?
Yeah, you're right. It's a big challenge, definitely a big challenge, but as I said at the start, you can't go down there half-hearted. So we've spent, yesterday afternoon and today sort of trying to get everyone up and excited again and embracing the challenge that Munster down at Thomond Park brings, because as you say, if we don't go down with the right mentality first and foremost, she's a tough place to go. So how we start will be a big part of this week, and the mindset we bring from the get-go is going to be massive. It's going to have to be on point.
Hi, Tom.
John, how are you? You up?
Sorry to sort of labour the point. I've asked the guys the question already, but how difficult a place was the dressing room to be in on Friday night after what had transpired in the second half?
It was obviously gutting. Pretty hard to describe what exactly it was like into words, but it was really hard one to swallow for us. Really kind of tough place to be, just knowing that we had the opportunity to win that game, but it was one that was tough to take, definitely. But look, it's just one of those moments and one of those kind of experiences you experience. Hopefully for me as a young player, I get the opportunity again, so hopefully next time I'm in that situation I won't repeat what happened after the loss. So it was to answer your question, it was a pretty grim place to be after the game. Just the emotion afterwards was pretty low.
What was it like? I mean, you came on, I think, with 18 minutes to go. You had 18 minutes of action. The kind of things were shifting against Ulster at that stage. I mean, what was it like going into that situation when it's slipping away from you?
Oh, look, I have great confidence in our team. We've played in plenty of close games where the result's been we've won by 2 points or we've won by 3 points, and even in the 80th minute, Kearns has hit a penalty kick or something like that. So there's always that belief going onto a pitch. So I was never kind of going on to the game being like, okay, look, we're really, really in trouble here. I came on, as you said, about 18, 20 minutes ago. That's plenty of time on a rugby pitch. So obviously when I did come on, we managed to get a score. Nick Timoney went through and ended up scoring. So we got a bit of momentum after that. But look, it's you got to come on, and boys have been playing for 60 minutes at that stage. So first and foremost, you got to fit into the team. You don't want to be doing anything too silly or giving away any errors or be ill-disciplined. So just for me, my mindset coming onto the game was just to give the guys who had been playing for 60 minutes maybe take a few carries and take the load off them and let them kind of get a bit of energy back and do that. But ultimately we obviously conceded a try in the last 20 minutes as well, and or a couple tries. So, and that was kind of the how it kind of finished up in the 74th minute when they scored in the corner. So obviously a bit disappointing, but especially when you come on, you want to make the best impact you can. But I always have that confidence in us that in the last 20 minutes of a game we can turn it around. But obviously wasn't to be our day.
Thank you very much, Tom.
No problems.
Hi, Tom. How do you strike that balance between making sure you take your learnings from last week and moving on to this week against Munster?
I think this week, it's a huge challenge for us in regards that, obviously the learnings from last week and more importantly the emotion of last week can take a lot out of a squad and out of a team, but we consider this week to be a huge challenge for us as well. Just how people view us, and obviously a lot of people were disappointed, and especially us, and we had a good last couple of days of reviewing the game, taking our learnings, and how we go forward from here. We've got the Rainbow Cup still to play in now, and we've got, realistically when you look at it, it's two huge massive Interpro games, two massive opportunities. Obviously Leinster be disappointed that they lost on the weekend there, and then obviously Munster, they lost a few weeks ago to Toulouse, so their big focus has been Rainbow Cup. So for us it's obviously a great challenge, but what will kind of how people view us as a team is how we turn around this week. We need to put on a big performance, and it's never easy going down to Thomond Park, so it'll be massive for us. But look, we're looking forward to the challenge and just getting back on the bike, getting back out there and playing. So look, we're excited for it. But yeah, as you said, last couple of days took our learnings, and hopefully now we can right some wrongs on the weekend.
And for you personally, and hopefully for the other guys in the squad, it's a chance to build towards the summer and hopefully for a few caps with Ireland.
Yeah, hopefully. It's obviously, we've only got a handful of games. We've got 2 confirmed games, and then we don't know what's going to happen with the rest of the Rainbow Cup. Hopefully we get to play a couple more games. But yeah, no, for me it's a good couple of opportunities, especially the Interpro games. As I said, you're playing against your competition, you're playing against the other players within Ireland. So it's massive for me to hopefully play well. And but look, I think for where the squad is at the moment, I think if we get 2 big performances as a team, we'll be really happy with that. So I think at the moment we're trying to get as a collective, we're trying to get around each other and make sure everyone's enjoying themselves and playing some positive rugby.